Hello, it's Julie again, and I am back with day 3 of SSSVEDA. Said it right. And I am going to chat with you guys today a little bit about some networking. But I'll kind of give some people a chance to come on. I am sitting in my car, if you can't tell. This challenge is definitely an interesting one, especially because I don't. It's wherever I can set up my laptop. Today I've been on the go. I've had a crazy busy day. And at the moment, I'm sitting at my son's school. He is in summer camp and he gets out. They're on a field trip and they should get back in about 45 minutes. I got here a little early in a coffee shop and get everything going and get torn down. Or I can, and it is not liking my connection. We're going to see if we can connect to the Wi-Fi or unconnect. We're going to Okay, so we'll see if that helps my connection. Um, so I'm sitting in the parking lot at my son's school, and it's still not liking my connection. It should be on my data. Okay, hopefully yeah, there it goes. It improved. So wanted to get that fixed. They have Wi-Fi here at the school, but I think because I'm out in the parking lot, it was just a little too far away from where I'm at. So when you're on the go and you're working for yourself, you work anywhere. So at the moment, it happens to be my car in my son's parking lot. But what I really wanted to talk about today was networking. Networking is one of those, especially a lot of us, there's a lot more of us that are introverts, I think, than extroverts. And even those of us who have those really outgoing personalities can actually still be introverts. A lot of my really good friends who you would not think are introverts really are. If you met them, you'd be like, she is crazy, she's wild, she's outgoing. But some of us are just we're good at absorbing all that and putting it all out there. And then we kind of, we get home and we go into our shells. But when we get to networking events, we tend to get a little overwhelmed and feel a little out of place. It's out of our comfort zone. We're talking to people. We're talking about them. We're talking about us. We're meeting complete strangers, and there's a whole room of them oftentimes, especially at a networking event. If you're at a good networking event, I go to one every year where there's about 3,000 strangers. So it can be really overwhelming, and it's kind of crazy. And networking was something that took me a long time to get more comfortable with. And there will still be days where I'll kind of start to network and then I'm like, okay, I gotta go breathe. This is a little much for me, and kind of find that place on where I can be more comfortable with my networking. So I organized all my thoughts today and I kind of have them next to me here. And we can kind of go through, some of my favorite things and some of my favorite tips for networking. So, the number one easiest thing when networking is to smile. Be happy. Look like you actually want to be there, because nobody wants to talk to somebody who is sitting in the corner and moping and looking miserable and looking like they don't want to be there, or just looks grouchy, or, as they put it, has resting bitch face. We don't want to talk to that person. We want to talk to the happy, fun one. Somebody who looks like they're actually enjoying the moment. So make sure that you're smiling. It's so easy. So put it on, smile, look like you care. And, I've found that when you're smiling, not only do you attract more people, but when you're actually talking back and smiling, you sound much more like you care about the conversation that you're involved in versus just talking back to the person and getting through the moments and, hi, I'm Julie, nice to meet you. And you just sound miserable. So don't sound miserable. Sound happy. Next is, share your passion, but don't have sales breath. So if your passion, if you're a direct salesperson and your passion is whatever you're selling, then you could be passionate about wanting to help women or wanting to share this opportunity, but don't have sales breath. Don't come at them and be like, and my name is such and such, and I help women, and it's all this skincare, and you want to buy it, and you want to sign up, and we're going to get you right now. Because, first of all, the person who's listening is going to be like, what just happened? They're going to be completely turned off by that, and they're going to want nothing to do with you or your product. And it doesn't matter if it's a direct sales. It doesn't matter if you're a coach, a speaking coach, if you teach social media. You want to be able to share your passion. You know, my passion is to help small businesses with their social media needs. Now, I didn't say buy me. I didn't say come to me. I said I want to help small businesses. But I still never told you that you need to sign up with me. I just told you that that's what I like to do. If at the end of our conversation, you are like, that's really awesome, and I need to be on board with her, and she's energetic, and she's got a passion, and that is really cool and something I can grasp and get a hold of, then by all means, you know, let's talk. But at the end, if you're like, that's cool, you know, that's really neat. I'm glad there's somebody like you that has a passion. You know, I have friends who work in nonprofits, and I have friends who work with some things that I personally, you know, teachers. Here we go. Teachers who are passionate about teaching. I could never be a teacher, but I am amazed and I love teachers who are passionate, and I love to hear that you're passionate about what you want to do. So when your passion shines through, it makes you a more admirable person. It makes your character better. It makes your qualities better. It just makes people want to be a part of you, and they may not be the one who comes to buy from you, but they want to be a part, and they want to join in. You know, follow up with people when you're done. And these are kind of out of order, so bear with me a little bit, but you know, my thoughts are a little more organized than the past couple days, but so follow up with people when you're done with your conversation, with your networking. When you go home, you know, you get their business card, and if there's somebody that you just have no interest in, then by all means you don't have to follow up with them. But if there's somebody you have an interest in, make sure you follow up with them. You know, I said Adam Rifkin has the idea of the 5-minute favor. And this is something that I absolutely love. And it's something I want to incorporate more into my own life. And the 5-minute favor is that if you can do something that will take less than 5 minutes, do it. So if it will take you less than 5 minutes to sit down and compose a follow-up email, do it. There's no reason not to. It's less than 5 minutes. So follow Adam Rifkin's 5-minute favor and follow up. So that's a really cool one. Set a time limit on yourself. If you become easily overwhelmed and you know walking into this that it's going to just drain you. If you're an introvert, you're someone who, and you will totally relate to this, you get drained easily. By the end of a networking event, you go home and you feel like you need to just kind of sit in your bubble, and you need to just let everything decompress from that experience. Then set a time limit on how long you, sorry, watching the bus behind me. Set a time limit on how long that you need to be at this event to benefit you without completely leaving your tank empty. You know, make sure you're refilling you. You have to take care of you, and you can't just go in and go to these events. You'll stop going. You won't get anything good out of them. You won't do the 5-minute favor. You won't follow up if you are completely empty by the time you leave them. So set a time limit on yourself and go in, plan to talk to a couple of people, make a small handful of meaningful connections versus feeling like you have to talk to every single person in the building, especially at a bigger event. Because, first of all, it'll never happen. The event I go to every year, if my goal was to go in and talk to every single person, I would be mentally, physically spent. I would be absolutely exhausted by the time I left. One, because it's just that many people. Two, because I don't have that much energy to devote to each person, and you're not going to get meaningful connections. So if you look for a couple of handful of meaningful connections versus feeling like you have to talk to everybody, you're going to get so much more out of it. So when you ask questions, first of all, and ask easy questions to get things started with somebody. Do not feel that you have to walk up to them and be like, hi, my name's Julie. I'm with Inspire Media. I do social media management and consulting and coaching. And I'm here at this event. First of all, you just word vomited all over them and they're going, who are you and why are you talking to me? Get to know them. Walk up. When you walk up to somebody, start with easy questions. Hey, how's it going? What brings you here today? Oh, that's awesome. You can say, may I join you? If people are already sitting at a table, if it's a luncheon type event, you see an empty spot, is this seat taken? Have a seat. And then you can be like, what brings you here today? Who are you with? What do you do? Ask them questions that have nothing to do with you. Again, you're letting the person know that you actually really do want to know about them. You're interested in what they do. If they do something that you're in need of, by all means, you can let them know. But again, don't pounce on them. Don't attack them. Nobody wants to feel like they're being attacked. So don't do the, oh my God, I need you in my life. I gotta have you. Like, ease into it. You're gonna scare people off. And I've been guilty of this in the past. But networking was something that took me quite a long time and a lot of practice. And that is one of the other things is with networking, practice. The more you practice, the more events you go to, the easier it will get, the better it will get. And you will still have those days, even when you've networked, where you walk into an event and you're just like, I don't have it with me today. I don't know. I'm not talking to anybody very well. I'm not getting out there. I just don't have it. But that's okay. It's not a big deal. So make sure you practice. When you give someone your card, have a business card that stands out. You don't want a business card that is completely just a white piece of paper with their name and their phone number on it, and they're going to stick it in their wallet. Mine were something I had a lot of fun designing, and I will probably change mine up quite frequently. I have my just standard information, but first of all, it's a vertical card, not a horizontal card like most people's are, because everybody has a horizontal card. And then the other thing, and I actually have 10 different designs. These are just a couple of them. But on the backs of my cards, I have pictures. So if you're somebody you've met me, this one says, make today so awesome, yesterday gets jealous. So, it's something fun. I have one that talks about photography, because photography is something I do as well. So, make your business cards something fun that people will remember, that will make you memorable. So when they go to do their 5-minute follow-up, they're going to remember who you are. So make it a habit. Networking doesn't just have to take place at events. You want networking to be a habit. So you want this to be something that you are going to connect with at least one person professionally every single day. This is something I don't do enough of myself, and I'm going to take my own advice and try to do more of this. So you need to connect with one person professionally every day. It doesn't have to be at a big event, like I said. It can be a referral. It can be an email. It can be follow-up. It can be catching somebody for a cup of coffee. But you want to make sure you get that one person every single day that you can connect with. So, what you're going to want to do is when you go into these events, you're going to want to look for 5 to 10 people that you can spend time with and really make a connection with. So you're not in that whole big overwhelmed picture. And, you know, I said share your passion. Don't hijack the conversation. Don't do what I'm doing right now and just talk and talk and talk and talk. Let them talk too. Ask them questions about who they are, what do they do. If they don't seem like they're from Wichita, say, are you from here, or wherever you're at, New York or DC, or just be like, are you from here? Oh no, what brought you here? It's those conversations that show that you care as a person, to what they are interested in versus just you talking and talking and talking and getting very little, and they can't get a word in edgewise. And by the time they left, they're like, geez, well, I know every single thing about that person, but I didn't get to say a word. They're not going to feel comfortable with you. They're not going to want to be interested in you. That was something I was very bad at for a long time. I was a conversation hijacker, and I still have to get careful. However, you also have to balance yourself out to where you're not so quiet that you're just standing there. Because then the other person is going to feel like they're talking to a post. And nobody wants to talk to a post or a brick wall or, yeah. They want to talk to a human. They want to talk to somebody with emotion. You talk, they talk. You talk, they talk. It's that back and forth conversation. And it's something that you think is really simple until you go to do it or you watch other people do it. And you realize that we are really not that good at conversation. One person will tend to dominate a little bit more than the other, and that's natural. But we want to find somewhat of a balance in these conversations. So the other thing is, and this, I was kind of going with this with the 5 to 10 a minute ago, and then I got myself sidetracked on another thought. So what you should do is look for 5 to 10 people that you've spent the most time with over the past 3 months. So think about that for a minute. 5 to 10 people that you've spent the most time with. I can sit here and list off at least 5 of them right away. 10 I might have a little bit more trouble getting to, but I can list off those 5 people that I've spent the most time with in the last month. Then, are you happy with how they are influencing you? Are they lifting you up in your business? Are they supporting you? Or are you supporting them and you're not feeling the support back? Are you doing something new in your business and you feel like that you have been there every step of the way for them, and suddenly as you're taking a shift, you're not seeing the same return? Are they just not a good person to be around? Are they negative? We want positive people. We want happy people. We don't want to be around negative people. So we want to be around positive people. You want to be around people who are going to support you, lift you up in what you do. But equally, you have to lift them up. Once again, you can't expect them to lift you up and you not lift them up. So this has to be this equal kind of give and take. But are they people who are really making a good, positive impact in your life? Because if they're not, you might need to reconsider the people that you're spending your time with. Because the more positive people you spend time with in your life, the more positive you're going to be, the more positive your business is going to be. You're going to see that continual growth as long as you're surrounding yourself with the right people in your business and in your time. So make sure that when you're spending time with those 5 to 10 people, that they are people who are going to really make an impact in your life. So that's kind of everything that I have on my networking. It's not scary. I know it can really seem scary to walk into a networking event and just be terrifying and be overwhelmed. And there are times, even now, I go to a networking event every single week, and then I go to a couple luncheons a month. But the networking event I go to every week, I have a handful of people that I know and that I'm comfortable with and I will gravitate towards. But even still with that, there are some weeks when I walk in and I'm like, I got this today. I'll walk up, I'll talk to some strangers, I'll make a couple of meaningful connections. And then there's other weeks where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sit back and just take it in today. We can't, we just don't always have it in us to be out there. But, some of those meaningful connections can lead to even bigger things. One of the people I met at my networking event, I go to 1 Million Cups, which is a really amazing networking event. There's locations all over the U.S. So if you're not here in Wichita, then you should look up 1 Million Cups online and see if there's a networking event near you somewhere else. If you are here in Wichita, you should be going to the 1 Million Cups events here in Wichita locally. They are amazing. But one of the first people I met when I started going to 1 Million Cups was Mandy Sterling, and she is with the Wichita Independent Business Association, or WIBA. And so WIBA is something that I've gone to some B2B business connection, kind of a educational type thing. I've gone to one of their monthly luncheons for their main group. I went to their women's monthly luncheon. So I've gone to these networking events, but hadn't quite made the plunge. Well, today, because of my connection with Mandy and because of meeting her through networking at 1 Million Cups, I went ahead and joined WIBA. And so I'm now a member of the Wichita Independent Business Association myself, and look forward to being able to attend a lot more of their networking events and seeing what those bring to what I can bring to them and what they can bring to me, and where we can find some really good connections and partnerships through this organization. So that is it today. That is all I have for you. Those are kind of just my little breakdown on networking for you. I hope you enjoyed. I want to hear your tips. So when you watch this back, let me know, comment, put the comments on Facebook, put them on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, send me a message, chat me and message me. But I want to hear your comments on what your tips are for networking. And I want to hear what you've learned, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And, we can all grow. That's the beauty of this, is I can share what I have, but when you share what you have, then I might learn something that I don't already know. So let's collaborate, let's share, let's get tips with each other, and let me know what you think. So, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe to me below. On Facebook, you can make sure to turn on live notifications, like my page, all of that good stuff. But you can find me on pretty much all of the social channels. I am at Inspire Media ICT. So ICT is the airport designation for Wichita, and it's what we say, it's like Atlanta, the ATL. Well, we are Wichita, we are the ICT. So I hope to see you, and maybe we'll run into each other at a networking event sometime. So have a good day. Mwah. Love you.